Going on, guys? This is Stanky's Garage here. I figure since I put both these intake manifolds up for sale today, or yesterday I should say, I would get a demo basically comparing the two since they are extremely similar. And I know there's a lot of questions out there pertaining to the LS1 versus the LS6 intakes. And this is the LS1 off of the C5 vette that doesn't have the EGR port on top, so it's the most similar. So a lot of people confuse these with the LS6s because they don't have them, but I'll go over a little bit of the differences here. The LS6 has the, I don't know if it comes like a brown or a reddish foam from the factory. I'm assuming it's brown. Maybe it was yellow at one time and it's just oil soaked, but it does have a flat bottom valley to the intake that is ribbed. And it has kind of like a slit here, just it doesn't go all the way across. But if you look at the LS1 C5 intake, the ridges go all the way across, but it has a hump to it. They're both cathedral port, obviously, and both of the back sides have the same vent to it with the map mounting positions are exactly the same. If you flip these over, give me 1 second here. You'll notice the intakes cosmetically look identical. Like there's no differences really, but a few. At least from what I've noticed. Okay, so this is the LS1 here. I'm gonna get confused because they're so similar, but the LS1 actually has an intake that sits, the little hole right there sits a little bit higher than the LS6. So there's one small difference that I noticed, other than the actual numbers. You can look it up by the numbers too. So here's a 125553333, or no, 125563333. And this one is a 1256184. The labeling on the LS1 sits on the passenger side. So passenger side, the labeling of the intake department is in the passenger. On the LS6, it sits on the driver. So there's a little bit of a difference for you. If you look at the front, they're basically identical. I mean, it's really hard to tell these intakes apart. Like I said before, the LS1 C5 intakes people confuse a lot for the LS6 ones because they don't have an EGR port up here. But yeah, this kind of is a little tutorial for you guys that actually want to see the differences. I know there's a lot of questions out there on forums and people want to see pictures verifying this kind of stuff. And the part numbers obviously do help on the intakes, but some of those can obviously get worn off and you can't read them, blah, blah, blah. But the only real differences between these is probably the porting inside from what I'm reading up. The LS6 flows a little bit better, which obviously the prices between the two speak for themselves. So, but yeah, the mounting, the bolt up, or I should say where the mounting setup is on these, obviously they're reversible. They're exactly the same on both intakes, and same with the fuel rail mounting locations. So obviously the LS6 still has the clips on it, but that's just for the vacuum ports on the heads itself, or the valve covers. But this one doesn't have it. So, but yeah, I mean that kind of goes over a little bit with both of the same and the differences between both intakes. Same and differences? I don't even think that makes sense. But anyways, yeah, I hope this helps out at least a couple people out there. I'm gonna be putting this on YouTube, maybe Facebook. If you have any questions, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to help you out after this because this intake, the LS6 is leaving today. So I thought I'd do a video before it leaves and I'll never be able to do one again. And yeah, I mean, that's essentially it. There's really not a lot of cosmetic differences between both intakes. The only thing I can really tell is in the valley, the ribbing. One's humped, which is the LS1, and one is flat, which is the LS6. So, and again, I can't speak for the LS1s on the Firebirds and Camaros. I know those have the EGR ports on them. I don't know if that includes the 99s or not. Could be wrong. GM is weird. But again, like I said before, I hope this helps somebody out when you're searching for your LS1 or LS6 intake. And again, have a great day, guys.